Control Player's Guide.
The top 10 most typed control style cards in the base Mega Evolution set. First, ladies and gentlemen, we must note that we are expecting a Japanese gym promo in Psyduck with the ability Damp in this new set. It reads, each player's Pokemon that has an ability with an effect that knocks out that Pokemon does not have that ability. So Dusclops and Dusknoir won't work. Because it's a promo, we're excluding it from the top 10, but we want to note that it is a powerful card for keeping your Pokemon safe. Now we have two honorary mentions. First, Repel. Your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their benched Pokemon. Not the most powerful of item cards, but it could serve as a good early game gust. You can't use Counter Catcher and don't want to use Boss's orders, so you use Repel. Think of it as pushing away Badoo on turn 1 going second. And speaking of second, we have Chi-Yu. Scorched Earth does 40 base damage for 1 fire energy. It reads, if your opponent has a stadium in play, discard it. If you discard a stadium card in this way, during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any stadium cards from their hand. Because this card can prevent your opponent from quickly reestablishing their desired board state for at least one turn, you can give yourself a breather against decks like Joltik Box that run Area 0 Underdepths. So let's get started with the top 10. At number 10, we have Centiskorch. Coiling Crush does 50 base damage for 2 colorless energy. Flip 2 coins. For each heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It's essentially 2 crushing hammers. Imagine coming up to Dragapult or Charizard and discarding both of their energies. You could even play a hammer beforehand to increase your chances of discarding both. Play Toedscool to ensure that your opponent can't put those energies directly into hand right away, and you have a potentially decent energy manipulation archetype. At number 9, we have Mega Manectric EX. Flash Ray for 2 lightning energy does 120 base damage and prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon. For an additional lightning energy, it does 200 base damage, but 130 more if you discard all the energy from this Pokemon. Its damage prevention against basics like Iron Hands EX and Pikachu EX, while also one-shotting the aforementioned Dragapult and Charizard, make a good choice for your aggro control aficionados. At number 8, we have Iron Defender. During your opponent's next turn, your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon, including those put into play after you play this card. This one can help both Steven's Metagross and Copperajah EX tank even more. For Copperajah, its ability Bronze Body reduces 30 damage from attacks, the Stadium Full Metal Lab would reduce 30 damage, and Iron Defender itself reduces 30, giving it a 90 damage reduction for an effective HP of 390. For Metagross, with Iron Defender at 30 damage reduction, Steven's Carbink at 30 damage reduction, and its own Stadium Granite Cave at 30 damage reduction while we ignore Full Metal Lab, it gives it also a 90 damage reduction for an effective HP of 430. At number 7, we have Yveltal, or Yveltal, or however you pronounce it. Clutch does 20 base damage for 1 Darkness Energy, and states, during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. The fact that a Retreat Locker has a free retreat is big news for Control in general, more specifically for Dark types due to using the same energy. One example is Hydreigon EX. This Pokemon typically has an awkward time setting up, and Yveltal might be able to give it that extra turn or two for getting energized. At number 6, we have Suspicious Watch. Choose one of your evolved Psychic Pokemon and put any number of its evolution cards back into your hand to devolve it. A Pokemon cannot evolve on the turn it devolved. There are a number of both non-control and control style cards with an ability upon evolution that can take advantage of this one. Grumpig allows you to look at the top 4 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon any way you like. Alakazam allows you to draw 3 cards, and its previous evolution Kadabra allows you to draw 2. Lily's Ribombee lets you bench your opponent's basic Pokemon from their hands. Doxbone EX allows you to heal all damage from your evolution Pokemon, but you have to discard all attached energies from the healed Pokemon. Espathra promotes invincibility for 1 turn. Hypno induces sleep. And Mismagius moves an energy from the opponent's active Pokemon to one of their benched Pokemon. At number 5, we have Lily's Determination. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. If you have 6 prize cards remaining, draw 8 instead. This card is huge for stall decks, or any deck that doesn't want to take prizes, what we might call a quote-unquote pure control deck, perhaps like Spidops Control. But unlike Katie, which draws 8, this card doesn't end your turn, and while it is a supporter for turn, it's essentially a draw 6 without the 2-prize liability of something like Shaman EX from Roaring Skies. At number 4, we have Wally's Compassion. Heal all damage for one of your Mega Evolution Pokemon EX. If you do, put all energy attached to that Pokemon back into your hand. Now, a good example of what this card works with is number 3, Mega Kangaskhan EX. Its ability, Run Errand, reads, once during your turn, if this Pokemon's in the active, you may use this ability, draw 2 cards. You can't use more than one Run Errand ability each turn. But that's not why it's here. At 300 base HP, it tanks at an effective 360 HP with 2 copies of Bouffalant with the Curly Wall ability. As long as you have another Bouffalant in play, your basic colorless Pokemon takes 60 fewer damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Add Lively Stadium, you have an effective 390 HP. Add Hero's Cape, and it's effective 490 HP. Whenever Kangaskhan is endangered of being KO'd, use Wally's Compassion to heal it and reset the tanking. At number 2, we have the controversial Vitality Forest, which states, each player's grass Pokemon may evolve into a grass Pokemon on the turn they were played, except that player's first turn. Why controversial? It's based on a now banned card in the expanded format, Forest of Giant Plants, from Ancient Origins, which performs the exact same function as Vitality Forest, except a player can evolve on one's first turn. Now, we compare any number of grass Pokemon with Vitality Forest. Arboliva EX to start sniping, Butterfree and Shiftry to shuffle opponent's benched Pokemon away, and Vileplume to look at the top 8 cards of the deck and attach any number of basic energy cards we find there to our Pokemon any way we like. Remember also that the previous evolution Gloom looks at the top 3 cards of the deck for energies too. But you say to me, now wait a minute Dr. Red, aren't you forgetting one major grass card? No, young Grasshopper, I did not forget it, as it is number 1, Mega Venusaur EX. Its ability Solar Transfer reads, as often as you like during your turn, you may use this ability. Move a basic grass energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. Its base form Bulbasaur retreat locks for 10 base damage. If you play Relicanth to access Bulbasaur's attack, you can retreat lock with a 380 HP tank in the active, add Hero's Cape and it becomes 480 HP. Whenever it takes a significant amount of damage, use Solar Transfer to move the energy from your Venusaur to Relicanth, play Wally's Compassion to heal the damage, and move the energy back again. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. What did I miss? Where am I wrong? Please leave a comment. Take care of yourselves, and may God hold you in the palm of his hand.